I spent 11K on Meta ads last month and got back 87K from Meta and email combined. And that's not even the interesting part. The interesting part is that whilst Meta is contributing to those sales, the conversions are actually being driven by something else that most e-commerce brands completely overlook. Let me explain. 2 months ago, I launched Meta ads, and last month in May, I spent $11,000 to generate a combined 70 conversions at $48,000 conversion value and a 405% return on advertising spend. Now, whilst my Meta strategy is dialed, which I'll share with you later in this video, my strategy isn't the reason that these campaigns are so profitable. I mean, this kind of ROAS, 11x, 4x, even 2.5x, is unheard of on Meta in 2026. And if the rest of my funnel wasn't dialed in, then these kinds of results wouldn't even be possible. It's all thanks to the foundation that I've built outside of the Meta ad account, and part of that foundation is email marketing. Here's my Klaviyo dashboard for the same period in May, and as you can see, we generated $39,000 in revenue from email alone. $33,000 of that came from dedicated email flows that we've got set up, which I'm going to share with you later in this video. $2,500 came from SMS, and $6,500 came from campaigns. Now, we actually only started running campaigns halfway through the month. So May 15, we launched our first campaign. Prior to that, we hadn't launched any campaigns since Black Friday, Cyber Monday last year. Now, whilst everyone else is trying to use Meta to generate sales, I spent the last year building everything underneath it. And that's why these two channels combined were able to generate me a total of $87,000 in just 31 days at a blended return on advertising spend of 687%. Most e-commerce brands are building their funnel completely backwards. Here's exactly what it should look like. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact funnel behind my results. I'll show you why I always start with Google and email before Meta, how email generated $39,000 last month, and the Meta strategy generating a 405% return on advertising spend. And most importantly, I'll show you how to build a funnel that makes these results possible. Also, quick one before we continue. For every episode in this series, I'm giving away a free coaching call. To enter, just like the video and drop a comment below. I'll randomly pick one winner from the comments and reach out directly. Good luck. Most beginners start here with Meta ads, which I think is a huge mistake because you could not be further away from a purchase conversion. Advertising on Meta is known as interruption-based marketing. It's used for demand creation. Google is a search engine and it's used for demand capture. Massive difference. And it's important that you understand the difference, okay? Meta is known as interruption-based marketing because you're stopping someone's scroll. Think about your own behavior or even the behavior of those around you. When you use Meta, so Instagram or Facebook, you typically go in there to be entertained, right? You're scrolling on your phone, you're killing some time, and you're met with an ad. Now that ad is interrupting your scroll. An advertiser has specifically targeted you with an ad based on the data that Meta holds about you. They believe that this ad is going to be interesting enough for you that you're going to stop what you're doing, click on the ad, visit the website, and potentially even purchase a product. But you were not on Facebook or Instagram searching for that product. You were on your phone or on your device looking to be entertained. So that Meta ad has a pretty big job to do, right? Because it needs to take you from here all the way through to the website, and from the website to making a purchase. This is why it's also known as demand creation, because you're creating demand for a product based on an ad that you're choosing to show to a particular audience. But with Google, it's different, okay? Remember, Google is a search engine. It's where me, you, and everyone else goes to search for something before we purchase it. It's a much more natural conversion cycle. If you want to buy something, you type in the name of the product on Google. On Google, you're then met with a Google ad, which is relevant for the term or the product that you've just searched for, which is why these Google ads are capturing existing demand. They're not creating the demand. The demand has already been created by that person searching for the product. So all we're doing on Google is capturing that existing demand. The fact that that person has come to Google, typed in the name of the product, been met with a relevant ad, and then clicked on the ad tells us that that customer has much higher purchase intent. Naturally, they're going to have a much higher conversion rate. So why start here on Meta when you could start here on Google? Advertising on Google is a much more natural conversion cycle and customer journey because the customer searches for the product, they're met with the Google ad, they click on the Google ad and land on your website. On your website, you'll then have a pop-up which offers some kind of promotion or offer in return for capturing that customer's email address. The opt-in form on my website has a 13% conversion rate, which means for every 100 visitors that land on my website, 13 of them give me their email, which means regardless of what further action they take on my website, right? They don't have to necessarily add to cart or initiate checkout because they've already given me their email. I've captured that information. I can then use that to start educating them further on the products that they've been visiting and viewing on my website. When someone signs up to the welcome flow on my website, they're sent 29 emails over 60 days, which are used to nurture and bring them back to my website, encouraging them to convert. So I'm using email as free remarketing, and I'll show you exactly how my email strategy works later in this video. Not only that, but I'm also remarketing to them on Google and now on Meta, which means I have complete omni-channel presence. I'm in their inbox, I'm following them on Google, and I'm even popping up on social media on Instagram and Facebook to anyone that visits my site. This is extremely important, especially when it comes to selling high ticket products, okay? My average order value on my store currently is $541, which is why I'm saying that without this entire funnel, it would not be possible for me to sell those products at the rate that I do and be so profitable if I was solely relying on meta ads. You imagine taking someone from seeing a meta ad straight through to your website and purchasing your product in one journey. It's very unlikely. It can happen, but it is very unlikely. A more natural flow would be someone sees your meta ad, they visit Google later to type in the name of your brand or the product that you're selling, and there they're met with your Google ads. They click on your Google ad, land on your website, opt into your mailing list, where they then start receiving your nurturing emails. The fact that they've visited your website kickstarts your remarketing campaigns on Google and Meta, and all of these channels combined contribute towards the purchase conversion, which is why I always start by building a strong foundation on Google and email, and later add on Meta to create more demand and push more demand to a funnel that I've already built that I know converts. Without this structure at the bottom of the funnel, your meta ads are not going to work as well. Like, there's just no chance you're going to achieve the kind of results that you're seeing from inside of my meta ad account if you do not have this type of funnel built. And this is the part that most e-commerce business owners completely overlook. They launch meta ads and meta ads alone, and then they're surprised when they can barely even turn a profit. If you're currently building an e-commerce brand and you want to learn more about Google Ads and email marketing, I've put together a free school community called the Google Ads Ecom Academy. It's filled with tons of free resources and trainings, and it's completely free to join. Simply see the link in the video description to learn more. Most people massively underestimate email, which, like I said, means for every 100 visitors that visit my website, 13 of them join my mailing list. That's 13 leads that I can then begin nurturing with my evergreen email flows and even begin sending email campaigns. I mentioned earlier during the intro of this video, I only started running campaigns midway through the month of May. Now, the main reason for that is just because my mailing list is on the smaller side, right? As you can see here, I have 9,322 email subscribers. I launched this business back in May of 2025. We've had almost 4,000 customers since then, which sounds low, but as I mentioned earlier, our average order value is $541. So, you do the math on that. 4,000 times 541, it's not a bad number in terms of revenue. Now my mailing list is of a reasonable size. I'm going to be sending email campaigns moving forward, gathering more data, learning more about what works, what doesn't when it comes to email, iterating, optimizing, and improving. So as promised, here is the back end of my email flows and what my setup looks like. So as with all e-commerce sites, we start with a welcome flow. Now this is in exchange for a customer providing their email address. Here we send a combination of email and SMS, and the goal here is really just to introduce them to the brand, to build trust with the lead in the hope that we can bring them to convert. We're also leveraging a discount for new first-time customers, which has an expiry date. The expiry date on the discount allows us to add a little bit of urgency and scarcity behind it, encouraging the lead to take action. Regardless as to whether or not the lead converts, they're then put into our endless nurture flow. Now, the emails that they receive are going to be dependent on the product that they viewed on our website. We have dedicated flows for dedicated products, so that the emails that they receive are specific to the product that they were viewing on the website when they first submitted the form and gave us their email. It's really important for consistency because let's say on your website you sell 5 different products, for example. It'd be strange if me or you gave a website our email address and then started receiving information on other products on their website that we weren't even interested in, right? So the structure and logic here is really important. We don't want to be sending them random emails. We want to send them emails that are built to convert, that handle objections, that build trust, that continue to nurture these leads, and most importantly, bring them back to our website with the hopes of getting them to convert. And this is just the email setup for one of my core products. We have multiple. It's this exact structure and these exact flows that contributed towards $33,000 in revenue last month. Like I say, the rest was attributed to email marketing campaigns, which we only started sending on the 15th of March, halfway through the month. So had we sent the campaigns over the space of the full month, perhaps we could have even doubled that revenue figure, which is exactly what we'll be aiming to do for the month of June. And this is where most people fall short. This is one of the biggest problems I see when auditing other e-commerce brands. Most people think that Meta is responsible for their poor advertising results, when that couldn't be further from the truth. They have wider issues. They've not taken the time to build a strong foundation, to actually build a foundation that can support the meta ads. The meta ads are doing their job. They're pushing the traffic to the site. It's your funnel that's the problem. It's not been built and optimized to convert. If you're only running meta ads, it's like only ever using your jab in a fight and then wondering why you can't knock anyone out. You have all of these tools available at your disposal: Google ads, email marketing, but instead of using them all to your advantage, you're isolating yourself and just using meta ads. And then you're wondering why you can't get your e-commerce brand to scale. Email, Google, Meta, yes, they're all independent channels, but they all contribute towards the customer journey. And most importantly, they all contribute to the most important metric that we identified in the previous episode of this series. If you watched that episode, do you remember what it is? Revenue per visitor. RPV. The objective isn't always more traffic or more clicks. It's about increasing the value of each visitor that lands on your website. We broke this down in detail in the previous episode 3 of my 500k per month series. So if you haven't watched that yet, I highly recommend that you go back and check it out, because this is one of the first things that I help students fix inside of my mentorship program. Because once the funnel is structured correctly, everything else becomes much easier to scale. That's exactly how I helped Oscar go from 0 to 120k in 1 month, and Fabi to go from 0 to 92k in 1 month. How I helped Dustin double his revenue in 90 days at a 14x return on advertising spend, and how I helped Sasha make 178k in a single month. If you'd like to learn more about working with me on a one-to-one basis inside of my mentorship program, the Google Ads Ecom Academy, then see the link in the video description for more information. The reason my meta ads are successful isn't because of some secret strategy, right? I'll share the strategy with you in a moment anyway. The reason my meta ads are so successful is because I'm using them to amplify what already works. That's the difference. Most people expect Meta to do everything, okay? Demand creation and demand capture. But that's why they're stuck selling low ticket, low quality junk, chasing revenue and barely turning over a profit. Or they're selling consumables, which are really popular at the moment, and setting up some kind of subscription model where they can spend very aggressively to acquire customers on the front end. They're unprofitable on the first purchase, but they rely on customer lifetime value and repeat purchases to make up the profit. But my success is different. It's due to the foundation that I've already built on Google and email, and thanks to the high ticket products that I'm selling. My AOV is $541, and that isn't an accident, it's by design. I always source products using my 4-step product validation method. That means finding products that have high demand, low competition, products that are evergreen, i.e. can be sold year round, and products that have a high profit potential, which are typically those that have a price point of $100 plus. Pair that with my meta strategy, which I'm going to share in just a moment, and success is almost inevitable. And that's exactly what business is about, right? Stacking the odds in your favor and understanding the risk to reward of the things that you're doing. If you want the highest chance of success when it comes to building and scaling your e-commerce brand, then you need to build a solid foundation like the one that I've shared with you in this video. Start with Google Ads, target high intent traffic, layer in email marketing, and then add meta ads and demand creation on the front end when you've already built a funnel in the back end that is converting consistently and profitably. So now let me break down my meta strategy so that if you do decide to add meta ads, once you've built a foundation, then you can do and you can scale. I actually already broke down my meta strategy in another video, but I will do it once more. and it's actually very simple. So as you saw in the Meta ad account, I had 2 campaigns live, right? One of them's running static images, and I've recently introduced video as well, and pushing the traffic from Meta to a listicle. A listicle is just your opportunity to further educate and sell the customer before sending them to the product page, right? So think of the listicle almost like a pre-sale page. It's where you position your brand as the solution, as the logical choice, so that whilst the customer consumes that content, they're already sold on the product before they land on the product page. That way, when they land on the product page and see, the price, the features, the benefit, it doesn't come as a shock because they're already so compelled that they want to purchase the product, having consumed all of this information before arriving on the product page. The reason it works so well is because each of these steps almost acts like a filter as well, right? If someone is interested or intrigued enough that they click on the ad and land on the listicle is then going to pre-sell the customers and filter out those who are not interested versus those who are. Those that are interested will click through to the product page, and on the product page they'll be met with, guess what? Our pop-up, where we're going to then capture their email, start remarketing to them in our email flows. Not only that, but because they've landed on our website, they then join our remarketing lists, okay? They're picked up by our Google tag and also our Meta pixel, so that we can then begin remarketing to them once more on Google and also on Meta. And that is the role of the remarketing campaign, which is the second campaign that I had live on Meta. Very simple. We're just running static ads, pushing customers back to the collection page that's relevant to the ad, and from the collection page they can then click the product, visit back to the product page, and then convert and purchase the product. And as you see, this structure works very well. I showed you earlier that I had a 405% return on advertising spend in the Meta ad account for the month of May. But like I said before, and I'll say it one last time to really drive this home, those results would not be possible if I did not have my bottom of funnel built out, if I had not taken the time to build a solid foundation. The Meta ads are just an extension of the funnel that I've already got, and I'm using Meta ads to introduce more people to the funnel that I've built that's already converting. So guys, if you're going to take anything from this video, just remember one thing. Email, Meta, Google, they're all independent channels, but used correctly, they can all contribute towards your customer journey. And if you take the time to build the foundation, target the high intent bottom of funnel traffic, and then work your way up, your chance of success is going to be much, much greater than if you solely depend on Meta ads to do everything. Use each channel and leverage their strengths to build an actual e-commerce brand in 2026. Alright, that is it for episode 4 of my 500k per month series. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to smash that like button, drop a comment and hit subscribe, because you're going to want to see what's coming up next in episode 5 of my 500k per month series. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week in episode 5.